Everyone, in today's video we are going to learn about feedback based TCP. Feedback based TCP or TCP-F proposes modifications to the traditional TCP for improving performance in the ad hoc wireless networks. It uses feedback based approach. Here, as in ad hoc wireless networks, traditional TCP does not perform well due to various issues. So TCP-F has been proposed in order to improve the performance of TCP in ad hoc wireless networks. It uses the feedback based approach. TCP-F means feedback based TCP requires the support of a reliable link layer and a routing protocol that can provide feedback to the TCP sender about the path breaks. Means whenever a path break occurs, then the TCP sender will immediately get to know about that path break because of this routing protocol, which is a feedback based approach. The routing protocol is expected to repair the broken path within a reasonable amount of time. Means the routing protocol itself sends the feedback to the TCP sender and it also repairs the broken path. TCP-F aims to minimize the throughput degradation resulting from the frequent path breaks that occur in the ad hoc wireless networks. It minimizes the throughput degradation because of the frequent path breaks and highly dynamic nodes. The overall throughput decreases, right? So TCP-F will not let that happen. During a TCP session, there could be several path breaks, resulting in considerable packet loss and path re-establishment delay. TCP session in the sense a TCP sender and receiver are involved in the transmission of data packets. That is TCP session. There could be several path breaks resulting in considerable packet loss and path re-establishment delay, right? Upon detection of packet loss, the sender in a TCP session invokes the congestion control algorithm because the sender assumes that the packet loss is due to the congestion. So it invokes the congestion control algorithm which is already existed in TCP protocol, leading to the exponential backoff of the retransmission timers and a decrease in congestion window size. Means the rate at which the sender sends the data packets will be reduced and a decrease in the congestion window happens. In TCP-F, an intermediate node, upon detection of a path break, originates a route failure notification. In TCP-F, an intermediate node means the node which is in between the source node and the destination node. Upon detection of a path break, after detecting a path break, the intermediate node itself originates a route failure notification. This route failure notification packet is routed toward the sender of the TCP session. This is what the routing protocol does. So when a route failure happens, then the route failure notification will be originated by the intermediate node to intimate the sender, TCP sender. The TCP sender's information is expected to be obtained from the TCP packets. Means the packets which will be sent by the sender will have the information regarding this TCP sender also being forwarded by the node. The intermediate node that originates the RFN packet, route failure notification packet, is called as the failure point. As the path break occurred, the intermediate node which happens to be there at that path will originate the route failure notification, right? So that point is known as failure point. The failure point maintains information about all the route failure notifications it has originated so far in its cache. Every intermediate node that forwards the route failure notification packet understands the route failure, updates its routing table. Means it will have a routing table, right, accordingly, and avoids forwarding any more packets on that route. So it means that if a route failure occurs, the intermediate node will not send any packets via that route, which involves the broken path. It will not send via that route, and it immediately updates the routing table, which involves that particular route, which has a path break. Sorry for the inconvenience. If any of the intermediate nodes that receive RFN, route failure notification, has an alternate route, means another route to the same destination, then it discards the RFN packet and uses the alternate path for forwarding further data packets. Means if another valid route exists for the destination, then the route failure notification will be discarded, means it will not exist further, and the sender will use that alternate path to forward the data packets, thus reducing the control overhead. Means there will be no extra packets generated because of that route, right? Involved in the route reconfiguration process. Route reconfiguration process occurs when there is a path break. It will not occur here now, as another valid route is there. It forwards the route failure notification toward the source node. Otherwise in the sense, if there is no alternate path for the destination, then RFN will be forwarded to the source node. When a TCP sender receives an route failure notification packet, it goes into a state called snooze state. TCP sender will go into this state, snooze state. In the snooze state, a sender stops sending any more packets to the destination as the path break has occurred. In order to avoid congestion, it will not send any more packets to the destination. Cancels all the timers, means if it must cancels timer, because within the mentioned period of time the packet has to be received from the acknowledgement packet has to be received from the receiver, right? Freezes its congestion window, freezes the retransmission timer, and sets up a route failure timer. As the route failure has occurred, it goes into the snooze state and it stops sending any more packets to the destination, cancels all the timers, freezes its congestion window, freezes the retransmission timer, and sets up a route failure timer as the route failure has occurred. This route failure timer is dependent on the routing protocol. Route failure timer is dependent on the routing protocol, network size, and the network dynamics, and is to be taken as the worst case route reconfiguration time. Route failure time is the time which is required to find out another route. It depends on the routing protocol, network size, and the network dynamics, means how fast the nodes mobility of the nodes, and is taken to be worst case route reconfiguration time. When the route failure timer expires, means the route failure timer limit is exceeded, then the TCP sender changes from the snooze state to the connected state. Means there is a link now. There is no path breaks now. See, TCP state connected. When it is connected, TCP-F, connection from A to D. Here we have 4 nodes. It is fully connected. No path breaks, right? TCP state snooze, means when this snooze happens when it receives RFN packet. See, here we have a path break, right? See, this into mark indicates path break or broken link. So the intermediate node C sends the route failure notification packet to TCP sender. So it has sent this TCP sender, it has sent this RFN packet. So the TCP state is now snooze. Link CD breaks and C originates RFN. TCP state connected, means after rejoining this C is connected to D again. So it generates this RRN notification. route reconfiguration notification. This is the operation of TCP/F. As you can see here in the figure, a TCP session is set up between nodes A and D over the path A to B, B to C, C to D. When the intermediate link between node C and node D fails, node C originates an RFN packet, means route failure notification packet, and forwards it on the reverse path, means the path which has been traversed by the sender, reverse path to the source node. See, this is forward path, this dotted line is reverse path. Reverse path to the source node. The sender's TCP state is changed to the source state upon receipt of the RFN packet. If the link CD rejoins, or if any of the intermediate nodes obtain a path to the destination node D, a route re-establishment notification packet is sent to the node A, and the TCP state is updated to the connected state. See, I'll again explain with this example. Here it is well connected, so the TCP state is connected. Here a path break occurs, so the intermediate node which is linked to this path will send the RFN route failure notification packet to the sender. So the sender state changes to SNOS on the reverse path. See, this is the forward path, this is the reverse path. Here the CD link is rejoined, so this intermediate node sends the route re-establishment notification to the sender. Now the TCP state is changed to connected state. That's it. As soon as a node receives an RRN route re-establishment notification packet, it transmits all the packets in its buffer. Buffer is the place where it stores the packets, assuming that the network is back to its original state. This can also take care of all the packets that were not acknowledged, means it will also send the packets that were not acknowledged by the receiver or lost during the transmission due to the path break. In fact, such a step avoids going through the slow start process, exponential growth or slow start process, we know that in traditional TCP, that would otherwise have occurred immediately after a period of congestion. The route failure timer set after receiving the RFN packet ensures that the sender does not remain in SNO state indefinitely, means for more time, ensures that the route failure timer ensures that the RFN packet, because of that RFN packet, the sender will not be too much engaged in this SNO state. Once the route failure timer expires, means the route has been re-established, then the sender goes back to the connected state, in which it reactivates the frozen timers, means the timers will be freezed, right? And starts sending the buffered and unacknowledged packets. This can also take care of the loss of the RRN packet, route re-establishment notification packet, due to any possible subsequent congestion. TCP/F permits the TCP congestion control algorithm to be in effect when the sender is not in the SNO state. TCP congestion control algorithm will take care of all the effect of all the congestions in the network when the TCP sender is in SNO state, thus making it sensitive to congestion in the network. So now we will see the advantages and disadvantages of the TCP/F. TCP/F provides a simple feedback-based solution to minimize the problems. Here the TCP will just provide a feedback-based approach, right? Plus additional, this is the additional point with respect to traditional TCP, right? So the problems, it will minimize the problems arising out of frequent path breaks in the ad hoc wireless networks. How? By intimating the sender about the path breaks. At the same time, it also permits the TCP congestion control mechanism to respond to the congestion in the network. It controls both congestion and the path break at the same time. TCP/F depends on the intermediate node's ability to detect the route failures and the routing protocol's capability to establish a broken path within a reasonable short period of time. Right? Here the intermediate nodes are used to send the route failure notification, route re-establishment notification, and this all will be done by routing protocols. Also, the failure point, the intermediate node which sends the route failure notification, that is route failure point, should be able to obtain the correct path, the path which the packet has traversed, means forward path, reverse path, to the TCP/F sender for sending the route failure notification packet. This is simple with a routing protocol that uses source routing, that is dynamic source routing protocol, the first on-demand routing protocol. If a route to the sender is not available, then at that FP point, then additional control packets may need to be generated for routing the RFN packet. In order to send the RFN packet to the sender, additional routing has to be done. Additional control packets will be generated. These are the disadvantages. TCP/F has an additional state compared to the traditional TCP state machine, and hence its implementation requires modifications to the existing TCP libraries, as there are many additional states than in the TCP state machine. Many modifications need to be done. Another disadvantage of the TCP/F is that the congestion window used after a new route is obtained may not reflect the achievable transmission rate acceptable to the network and the TCP/F receiver. Means after route re-establishment, the TCP sender will not transmit in the same rate the network and the TCP/F receiver will be acceptable. Means the rate of data packets flow may be decreased or increased when compared to the networks and receiver capability. Thank you so much. If you find my video worth watching, please do subscribe to my channel.